know what love is, far from heartless. Every reason to live, but he died regardless. The life of a martyr, sacrificed peace and place for our torture. Not only was the lead, indeed, he was the author. Why bother with a scoffer when all of my strength he was the source of? I can hear Mary Ann telling me, life not hard, it get easier and easier if you let it be. Up, downs, lefts, and rights, like the letter T, but you can get through it, you from a divine pedigree. Make sure you always telling the Lord thank you, from dangers unseen and seen from all angles. This life only for the authentic. The book of life, pray that your name get marked in it. Breath of life from the Lord, pray he long-winded. It don't matter how you start, it's all about how you finish. It's how you finish. But how you finish. But how you finish. It's how you finish. He sent your son for me, didn't deserve it. He taught, bled and died for me, didn't deserve it. The lake of fire, that was for me, but then you curved it. If I had 1,000 tongues, wouldn't be enough to worship your holy name. I know it's not a game. When I look how far you brought me, it's hard to view you the same. Thank you for your grace and your mercies. You never let me hurt me. Even my mama noticed the change. They think we keep the laws cause we think we better. I tell them we keep the laws cause that's what the Lord tell us. In the Tanakh and the Torah and Paul's letters, I see they want to scatter the sheep, striking the shepherd. Whatever, they got no lies to sell us. We kept the receipts knowing that we'll be sky dwellers. Just a matter of time, roles gonna be rewired. So let's celebrate all the beginning and end time. So it's how you finish. It's how you finish. It's how you finish. Katrina, I ain't have nowhere to live. Called my brother Smoke, he told me I could play the crib. He said he had a FEMA trailer and the place was his. And he had a plug on them pills, we could make it big. So I moved in it, kept a tool in it. Money started coming with the do with it. New Year came like a Yankee in a blue fitted. Spot how my man Smoke getting too loose with it. New faces coming in and out the trap. Whole time this the place we land all our hairs at. City told me, Chef, you need to move, that's a fair trap. Come to the crib and shake back before they raid that. That's advice that you know I had to take. Packed all my bags, left to go, but I kept it safe. Gave my life to the Most High and got amazing grace. Week later, feds kicked the door, but I missed the case. Amazing grace.
I've got to bless you.
Three open cases sitting in that cell. Replaced the C with an H, I was sitting in hell. I won them up with no commissary, it crushed me. It made me feel like my family didn't love me. That's when I knew that street shit wasn't for me. It opened up my eyes, started searching for him above me. Had me ducking bullets when niggas was trying to slug me. I knew I had to change, cause shit was starting to get ugly. Opened up the Bible, started reading certain scripts. Couldn't understand before, now it's all making sense. Friends starting to look at me strange, I had to change the clip. All they wanna do is flash pose, but they ain't taking pics. Plus Philly all Muslim, so it's major hate. I hit the street, started to teach, trying to change their fate. Plus in that book of life, I'm trying to make some space. If I don't make it, all praise for his amazing grace. Amazing grace.
I've got to bless you.
Lord. Yes, 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 Lord.
Above, and you're soaring above your enemies, above your critics, that there's a pace for this race. I decree it, I declare it, I make known that the mysteries of the Lord shall bubble up in you, and mysteries and secrets and hidden treasures shall be unlocked.
Lord, help me from lacking somebody today. Lord, help me from lacking somebody today. Cause Lord, I'm trying to move forward, and I don't want to take things that fast. So help me from lacking somebody today.
Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman. Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Wayashamaka, Wayashamaka, Yahweh, 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 Hanyawa al Yak, Hanyawa al Yak, Wayachanka, Wayachanka, Yahweh, Yahweh.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom, shalom. To everyone listening, what's going on? What's going on? First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, the supreme intellect of the universe, and I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Jesus Christ. I want to say peace and blessings and shalom to everybody that's listening to us across all the platforms that we broadcast from. Of course, as usual, I want to shout out everybody that's watching us on our YouTube channels, which is Lines of Israel Class and Maccabeestv. For you guys that are on YouTube, please be sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys like the video, drop a comment so we can trigger the algorithm, and more importantly, make sure you guys share the video on your platforms as well. Also, of course, shout out to our good brother Nasiah for his channel, Nasiah TV, broadcasting across all different platforms that broadcast directly into people's homes. The brother's doing a great work, so continued shout out to that brother and keep doing the great works that you're doing. And last but not least, of course, a shout out to my Clubhouse family. You guys know the drill. you guys are listening, make sure you guys ping people into the room, drop a comment in the comment section. And of course, you guys are always welcome to click the link at the top of the room to come over to YouTube. So usually for the Clubhouse family, I'll always give you guys a scale in terms of how important it is to see what I'm showing as opposed to just listening. So if you are indisposed and you cannot see what I'm showing, then that's all well and good. But on a scale of 1 to 10, today's class in terms of visual presentation is a 20. On a scale of 1 to 10, today's lesson is a 20, which means if you are able to click the link at the top of the room, I would highly encourage you guys to click the link at the top of the room so you guys can actually follow along with the PowerPoint lesson I'm going to present today. So yeah, we're about to get started. There's a lot to go over today. It's been a tumultuous week, lot of stuff going on, that we're going to touch on today. And we're also going to take a look at what we can expect over the next coming years. But before I go any further, as usual, I want to give an opportunity for the other elder, which is Elder Zahab, to unmute and say any words he wants to say before we get started with today's lesson.
Hey, Shalom, King. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom to the family. Shah Shabbat. All praise to the Most High. Right? In the name of Mashiach Yahushai. Brought us to another Shabbat. I just want to say the water to all the people for tuning in. That's pretty much it, man. At the end of the lesson, I do want to say something, priest, but I'm gonna hold it to the end.
Kind of the one, all praises, all praises. All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, without further ado, I want to get started because the last couple of weeks, I have not gotten through my entire lesson, so I want to make sure I get through the entire thing today. I don't think I have a lot of slides, but I probably will do a lot of talking. And of course, as always, Zahab is more than welcome to unmute. So I'm pretty sure he'll have some things to say about the things I'm going to be showing you guys as well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second because I do need to do one quick thing before we get started. So while I'm doing that one quick thing, one last time, everybody that's listening, I want you guys to take a moment to share the video. Ping people into the room on Clubhouse. Share the video on social media. And most important, make sure you guys like the video. All right, so it can show up on other people's timelines as well. Okay, so that when they come online, they'll know we were live if they weren't awake, and they can actually come in and learn along with us. Okay, because this stuff that we're going to talk about today is very, very important. And I usually take the early class on Saturdays. I know people are sleeping. It's a Sabbath. Everybody's getting a little rest. They're sleeping. So a lot of people wind up coming back to the lessons later on. So all praise to the Most High for that. All right, so I think I'm ready now. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get started. All right. So, brothers and sisters, today's lesson is pretty much a reminder of things. When I say a reminder, what I mean by that is that these are things that I think we all, especially those of us that are in the truth, these are things that we already know. So we're just reinforcing what we already understand. And in this life, sometimes, because we're alive and living in this society like everybody else, sometimes the outside influences can even affect us, whether it's on a small level or a large level. Outside influence can affect many of us. And by outside influence, I mostly mean social media. So we're going to be taking a look at social media today and a bunch of things. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. The name of today's lesson is called Will Voting Save Our People? I think pretty much universally, everybody that's listening to me live right now knows that voting will not save our people. But again, there are going to be people that will watch this video that are not, in the Israelite way of life like we are, that might watch it on the side TV in their home, and they may not understand what it is we understand. So we're going to speak to the people as though we don't know. So voting will not save our people. I'm going to answer the question at the very first slide. Voting will not save our people. I must give you guys fair warning. I see some Israelites on social media, mainly on Facebook, that if I wasn't a man of discernment, I would think you guys love Donald Trump as much as as much as the dudes that's not the truth that love Donald Trump the way some of you guys talk. I would think that Donald Trump is your Lord and Savior rather than Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, the way I'm seeing Israelites talk. I expected with Jake in the world, the ones that are fed up with the quote unquote Democratic Party and the policies that they try to implement and the things that they support. I expect that from them. But I look at some Israelites and I have to ask myself, I'm like, are you seduced too? So when you guys are looking at the screen that I have at the beginning of our PowerPoint, you guys will notice in this box where it says vote, I have an image there with Donald Trump with a hand controlling the puppet strings that are attached to him. Because brothers and sisters, and for anybody that might be new here, Donald Trump is a puppet just like everyone else in politics. Ladies and gentlemen, if they platform you in any way, shape, or form, if you are able to sit down on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, or any type of program where they platform you, they give you an opportunity to speak, you are a puppet. You will never see someone that is an independent thinker. Shout out to Kanye West, right? He popularized that phrase. But you'll never see someone that's of our mindset, an Israelite, platformed on platforms like those. Because they don't know what you're going to say. Or better yet, watch this. They do know what you're going to say, which is why they never platform you. If you get platformed on Joe Rogan, more likely than not, you're a puppet too. Yeah, I'm just saying. So if you think that that's independent journalism and you've been seduced, then some of the things that I'm going to show might offend you too. Oh, well, that's just what it is. I'm not going to not say it because you're going to be offended. With that being said, we're going to move on. Of course, we're Bible people, so we're going to start with Bible first. To be awake is a blessing in these days. To know what we know is a blessing. Look at what our Mashiach Yahushua said. This is Matthew chapter 13, starting from verse number 9. It says, "Who hath ears to hear, let him hear." Now, this is, I guess you would call this like an idiom, right? Every human being, for the most part, unless you have some type of crazy birth defect, has ears. And most people, unless you suffer from deafness, right? Most people, for the most part, can hear. So this is not really talking about your physical ears, but it's really talking about your mind. Those that have a mind to understand will understand. You will hear the words that Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, spoke, and you'll be able to comprehend it. But everybody won't. You'll be able to hear the words that the prophet spoke and be able to comprehend it, but everybody won't. So those that have the mind to understand the words of the prophets and the Mashiach Yahushua, which is preserved in our Bible today, and understand it, then understand it. Everybody else is not going to understand it. It's a blessing when you understand it. Verse 10. "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Right, because when Yahushua spoke to the people, a lot of times when you follow the story from chapter to chapter to chapter, you guys are going to see a pattern. A lot of times when Yahushua was speaking, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes would be present when he was speaking, always trying to listen to what it is he was saying and to try to contradict what it is he was saying. And so Yahushua would speak in parables. He would use an analogy, a metaphor, an allegory, whatever word you want to use, but behind what he was saying, there was a meaning. And the reason why he spoke that way, because it wasn't meant for everyone. It was meant for he who hath an ear, not everybody. So the disciples couldn't understand that. So the disciples came unto him and said, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Verse 11. And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not given. That's powerful. We cannot allow that to go over our heads. What is the Bible showing us? Everyone that picks up the book is not meant to understand it. That's the reason why we have so much conflict with the Christians and the Christian apologists and the Muslims that try to pick up the Bible, to try to say the Bible is this and that, or the atheists and the Kemetic people and everybody else that tries to pick up the Bible and say the Bible is this and that. There's a reason behind that, because anybody could pick up the book, but the book is encoded. It's encoded. It's encrypted. And the only people that's going to understand the encrypted information is he who hath an ear. Those who the Most High deemed to be able to have and hear. Why? Because it's given unto the disciples and the apostles that would come after them, all the way down the line until today. It's given unto certain people to understand the Bible, but not everybody. Everybody thinks that the Bible is just a book you can pick up and understand. No. That's why Christ spoke in parables. It was never meant for everybody. That's cold in and of itself. But it is what it is. Let's keep reading. Verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not. Meaning they can see the same things that we see. They can see the words in the book, but can't see it. They can see what's going on in the world. And we can show them how what's going on in the world aligns with the book, and they can't see it. And hearing, they hear not. They can hear what it is that we're saying. And they can look at the book and see that, you know what I just heard him say is right, but they still can't hear it. Neither do they understand, because it's not given to them to understand. And that goes for the other nations, but it also goes for 2/3 of our people too. Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esaias. Esaias is a Greek way of saying Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand. That's our people, because the focus of our ministry is our people. So our people hear what we say, they can't understand it. They just can't get it. Even when you show it to them in the book, they still can't understand it, because they have their preconceived notions, their preconceived biases, which is being transmitted to them through what? Social media, which we're going to talk about. And so they can't hear what it is we're saying, even though what they see what we're saying is right. They can't hear it because they have been programmed by social media, by the mouth of the beast. And seeing, ye shall see and shall not perceive. Our people are going to see what it is that we're saying, but they're not going to be able to perceive it. Let's keep going. For this people's heart is waxed gross. Your heart is your mind. What is one of the main reasons why today our people's mind is waxed gross? Social media. Because if you guys follow the studies, a lot of people don't get their news and information anymore from what's called the traditional media anymore. They get most of their information from social media. So we're going to make it relevant to times today. Our people's minds have waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes are closed, like eyes wide shut, just like the movie. Lest at any time they should see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Verse 16. Here's the point. But blessed are your eyes, talking to the disciples and ultimately talking to us today, for they see. And your ears, for they hear. Meaning you can hear what's being said, and you can actually comprehend it and understand it. For verily, truly, I say unto you that many prophets, like a lot of these today, if you want to bring it up to relevant times, a lot of these preachers that have these mega churches and these big congregations, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see. These people desire to see what it is we see and understand it. The Bible tells us in Romans chapter 10 that our people have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. They desire to see things, but they can't see it because the Most High has these things set aside for the elect, not for everybody. Have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. So again, back to the title of the slide, to be awake is a blessing in these days. Yahushua said, you're blessed to be able to comprehend what it is that you comprehend, right? The Bible says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times. Because you have wisdom, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, and you also have knowledge, which is understanding this book, which includes prophecy. When we see certain things take place in the world, unlike the rest of our people, which I'm about to show you, we don't bug out. We don't bug out. We don't lose our mind. Over the last, today's Saturday, over the last 5 days, brothers and sisters, y'all been seeing it. Our people, for the most part, have been bugging out over the election results. Why? Because they don't have wisdom and knowledge of this Bible. Even though many of them go to church and claim to be Christians, they don't have wisdom and knowledge of this book. So when they see things happening in the world with this is nothing compared to what's coming. But when they see it, they bug out. We're blessed because when we see it, we're like, I already knew this was going to happen. Exactly what I thought. Why? Because the book already told you. Everybody with me? Okay. Let's move on. The current state of most of the world is what you guys see in these pictures right here. Your mind is controlled by an outside entity, and in most cases, it's social media. Brothers and sisters, and I need for us to do some introspection, meaning looking within. There's a scripture for that, right? The Bible says, examine yourself, right? Your algorithm tells you everything about your mindset. I wrote a lot about your mindset, but I'm going to change that word. I'm going to say everything. Well, you be like, priest, what is my algorithm? Open up your TikTok and scroll through a couple of videos and look at the first 10 videos that pop up on your TikTok. That's your mindset. That's what keeps your interest. How much of that stuff is actually feeding your mind positive things to do with the Most High, things to do with prophecy? How of the first 10 videos that pop up on your TikTok, how many of those things are educating you? That's an experiment you got to do. If it's 0, then something is wrong. You need to start looking at other things. Start searching. Hit that search bar on TikTok and type in something that's going to feed your mind. It'll change your algorithm. And the same goes for Instagram. And the same goes for YouTube and everywhere else. Because the internet is profiling you. They create a profile of you through the algorithm. And they can read your mind literally through the algorithm. Because you're feeding this artificial intelligence your mindset. You're teaching it. Did you know that? By the things that you consume online, you're teaching this algorithm, this artificial intelligence about you and your mindset and how you think. Now, I appreciate you made that up. Okay. Let's watch this video real quick so you guys can see for yourself. Listen.
Okay, has anyone else noticed that your For You page has been a little too accurate lately? It hasn't been things that I'll Google or...
We're going to stop right there because some of the older folks are like, what is a For You page? A For You page is TikTok, right? Your FYP is your For You page. The things that you're going to start seeing popping up when you open the app. Got it? That's for the older folks. The younger folks know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go.
Okay, has anyone else noticed that your For You page has been a little too accurate lately? It hasn't been things that I'll Google or I talk about. It's been thoughts.
TikTok knows everything about us.
Hold up, don't scroll. Let me ask you something first. Can someone please explain how this algorithm works?
TikTok users often wonder how the world's fastest growing social network seems to know them so well.
TikTok's secretly listening to us while we're watching videos? I don't know.
The answer to how this app gets to know you so intimately is a highly secretive algorithm, long guarded by TikTok's China-based parent company.
So, for those that don't know, TikTok, the parent company is in China. The name of the company is called ByteDance. And they have a very secretive way that they created their algorithm to learn about you. Let's go.
Dance.
TikTok has been so successful in terms of implementing their algorithms.
TikTok's algorithm can influence the thinking of U.S. youth.
What's today's lesson? Today's lesson is about the election, right? So you was probably wondering, well, why are we talking about TikTok? Because TikTok's algorithm can influence the thinking of people, especially younger people. Y'all heard that part, right? Let's go back and listen to that again.
TikTok has been so successful in terms of implementing their algorithms.
TikTok's algorithm can influence the thinking of U.S. youth.
To understand how it knows users so well, the Wall Street Journal created over 100 automated TikTok accounts, or bots, that watched hundreds of thousands of videos on the app. We also spoke to current and former executives at the company. Officially, the company says that shares, likes, follows, and what you watch all play a role in what TikTok shows you. We found that
So, shares, what you're sharing, what you repost, what you like, and what you watch controls your algorithm. So now you're going to be bombarded with the stuff that you're watching, and that affects the way that you think, whether you understand it or not. We understand why it affects the people in the world that way. But as Israelites, it's not supposed to be so. And that's why I told you, brothers and sisters, and I do it sometimes too. I'll watch something that's really not related to the truth, but I'm trying to learn about something, and then my whole algorithm changed. I'll have to purposely go and search out something else to stop my algorithm from feeding me that nonsense. But I know to do that because I understand this. But the majority of our people in the world don't. And it affected their mind when it came to this election. We're going to get back to the election. Don't think we forgot about it. I'm just showing you guys something. Let's go.
TikTok only needs one of these to figure you out. How long you linger over a piece of content. Every second you hesitate or rewatch, the app is tracking you.
Just want to quiet the noise.
Through this one powerful signal, TikTok learns your most hidden interests and emotions and drives you deep into rabbit holes of content.
It understands your emotions, and it will drive you into a rabbit hole of content. And that's what happened with this election, guys. Y'all about to see in a minute. Let's go.
They're hard to escape.
Happy guy. Oh, just a happy.
The TikTok experience starts the
So
same.
we'll stop it right there. You guys get the idea. I gave you guys the title of this video. If you guys want to go and watch this entire video, which I believe is like 18 minutes long, it's called How TikTok Algorithms Figure You Out. It's on YouTube. So you guys can make a note of that, make a mental note of that. You guys can take notes. The name of the video is called How TikTok Algorithm Figures You Out. Go watch it. I encourage you guys to go watch it and ask yourself if that's you. Examine yourself. And if that's you, I just told you guys one of the ways to reverse that. You got to purposefully actually, because they'll send you down a rabbit hole. You got to click that search bar and look for something else or multiple something else in order for it to change. And the algorithm will follow you. Either you follow it by it feeding you nonsense over and over and over, sending you down a rabbit hole, or you control it. Y'all got that? Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Now we're going to look at TikTok brain in real life when it comes to the election. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds because I did download a couple of videos off of TikTok with reactions from the elections when people were absolutely losing their rabbit behind mind. And of course, there are some expletives and some four-letter words in here, so I know sometimes you guys have children nearby. My apologies if somebody wants to remove the children for a minute. It won't be long. Just be like probably a couple of slides real quick. But I want to show you guys. It's important for you to see this because it's not just that it's not just that it influences your mind, but it makes you crazy. Social media makes you crazy is what it does if you allow it, if you don't know better. And that's what you guys are about. You have to see this because some of you guys don't have TikTok, so you haven't seen this. You got to see it. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to get the children out of here. It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing, but there are a couple of expletives in here. And while we're giving you guys a minute, again, guys, hit the like button. Share the video. Ping people into the room. As you guys can see, we're going in today. We're going in today. Give it another minute. And then we're going to go in. All right. So this video is from TikTok. And this is called the top 5 best meltdowns after the election. Why are these people having a meltdown? Because they watched certain video and information on the election about whatever their preferred candidate was. And the algorithm took them down a rabbit hole, which made them rabid for one candidate or another. And for the ones whose candidate didn't win, they went crazy. They went crazy because they allow social media to control their minds. So this video is called the top 5 liberal meltdowns. This is from TikTok. Just watch. Let me get the volume all the way up. All the way up. There we go. Let's go.
I'm sorry. No. Why?
Listen, she is I don't know if you guys, for those of you guys on TikTok, y'all know what I'm talking about. She has become an instance. People have downloaded this video and the remixes that they've done is hilarious. It's hilarious. But this chick went bat, ape, stuff crazy over Kamala losing the election. This is wild, y'all. Sorry, we gotta watch that again. Let's go.
I'm sorry. No. Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Oh my God.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up.
I'm sorry, y'all. When you got one earring over here, and the septum in the middle, I can't take you seriously. No way. I'm sorry. But anyway, this is our people, y'all. Sorry.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Lavinia? They're still outstanding. Are they not counting them here? What's going on, Vadim? Why isn't Philadelphia counting votes? Call them. Do we have contact? Hello, if you're watching the stream right now, you work in Philadelphia, we'll put you on stream. I'll call you. I want to know what is going on.
And he just called the results.
I just want y'all to look at that. I'm gonna pause it for a second. Look at that. I mean, they say a face only a mother could love. Like, gosh, goodness, let's go. It's crazy.
It sucks being hated by so many people. What is wrong with you? I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom?
That's what TikTok does to your brain. There's more. Oh, there's more. Another one. Before I play it, just look at her. Look at the earrings. What? This is crazy. This is what social media does to our people. Sorry. What the hell?
I'm going to get drunk today. And
Hold on a second. I gotta give her some volume. I ain't gonna show all the respect. Let me give her some volume. Let's go.
I'm going to get drunk today, and I'm gonna act like an angry black fucking woman because I'm fucking angry. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm angry as fuck, bro. I'm angry. I'm hurt. My feelings are fucking hurt. We always finish last. We always come fucking last to everybody, even our own fucking men. And you niggas mamas be black. This shit is crazy. Y'all got black ass daughters. I'm angry as fuck. I'm gonna get drunk. and cause a problem.
I want you to think about the mindset that would have you come on the internet with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 piercings around your lips, 1 in your nose, and 1 in your tongue, with a bottle of Tito's, and have a meltdown online about an election. I'm gonna tell you what would cause you to do that. You consume too much content on TikTok, and the algorithm sent you down a rabbit hole and made you bat stuff crazy. That's what happened. That's what they call crashing out. Hey, brothers and sisters, do you understand now why we read the scripture where it said, blessed are your eyes because you see, because you understand this is all a game. These people, they don't understand that. All right, now y'all guys get the message. Y'all guys see what we're saying? You're blessed because you're not crazy. Don't allow social media to make you crazy. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. When you're on social media and you notice the algorithm keeps giving you video after video after video of the same thing, it's up to you as an informed adult, as an Israelite, to say, I'm going to break this algorithm. I see what's happening. Let me look for something. Let me just watch something else completely off topic of this. So you don't end up like them. All right. Here's the thing. One of the things that came out during this election was this whole thing about Donald Trump being racist, which he is. All Edomites, white people, have a sense of racism to them. Even though he was hanging out with rappers back in the days and all this other stuff, he is a racist. He is. Saying? So, all those black people that were going crazy about how could you elect a racist and everything forgot what their candidate Kamala said about the guy that she wound up holding hands with right here, Joe Biden. They got all in a frenzy, practically foaming at the mouth about Donald Trump being a racist, but yet Kamala Harris said what?
We've also heard, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention. She said she doesn't believe he's a racist. Then she's going to go on to describe him as a racist, which is the hypocrisy. Listen again. Listen.
We've also heard, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of 2 United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
So for those of you guys that don't understand, you had 2 senators in the Senate. You had Strom Thurmond. This is before some of you guys' time, because some of you guys are young. You had Strom Thurmond and you had Robert Byrd. Both of those senators were Klansmen. They were part of the KKK, and Joe Biden formed an alliance with them and proposed legislation with them and opposed busing for black people. He opposed it. So she said he's not a racist, but then she's bringing out the racist stuff that he did. And her followers are screaming at Trump about being a racist, and the guy she winds up holding hands with and working with is a racist. But they allowed themselves to be taken down that rabbit hole of TikTok where it's only telling you one side of the story and not the other. And that made them crazy. But here's the refresher. Let's keep going.
Also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of 2 United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And You know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
And a few moments later, what happened? She's hand in hand with the same dude that sided with the senators that were from the KKK. She sided with them and became his second in command. But her rabid followers that was crying about Donald Trump being a racist and going crazy when he won the election totally forgot about that, because the rabbit hole of social media took them down a rabbit hole that forgot all about this. Social media will make you crazy if you let it. Let's continue. Let's be frank. They're all racist. Listen to this.
To respond to what Senator Harris just said.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California.
I want you guys to, let me tell you guys what it is that I'm about to show you. She accused him of aligning himself with racists, right? Okay. Now he's going to accuse her of the same. It's the same thing. Listen.
To respond to what Senator Harris just said.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly,
so she talked about busing, which basically bus children into white predominantly schools to desegregate them, right? She said Joe Biden sided with Klans people and was against busing. When she became the senator, or excuse me, the Attorney General of California, and you had these segregated schools in her own district, she did nothing about it. Because they're all the same. They're all the same. But her rabid followers will never see information like this because TikTok took them down the Donald Trump rabbit hole. Not realizing they're all the same. Let's watch that one more time.
The school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights.
Remember, they're saying, hey, Donald Trump is gonna give the police qualified immunity, and now it's open season on black people with the cops. Donald Trump. But when she was Attorney General, when she had a chance to do something about the police, what happened? Let's listen again.
She also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she in fact was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you in fact have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information, would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris. Thank you.
So she is what she complained about Trump about. Her rabid followers don't know that.
Vice President Biden, Senator Harris, your response?
This is simply not true. And as Attorney General of California, where I ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice, I am proud of the work we did, work that has received national recognition for what has been the important work of reforming a criminal justice system and cleaning up the consequences of the bills that you passed when you were in the United States Senate for decades.
You guys didn't watch that deflection? She said it's not true. And then she took it away from her being the Attorney General of California to talk about what he did in the Senate, which is not the same thing. He was talking about specifically when you were the Attorney General of California and you have this police corruption, you did nothing about it. She said it's not true. Let's talk about what you did in the Senate. Y'all see that? Because it's all the same. They're all the same. That's why later on they could hold hands together, because it's all the same. It's just really the people that don't understand it. And so they start taking sides and going crazy because they consume a lot of social media and the algorithm takes you down a rabbit hole. and makes you bat SH crazy. That's what happens. Let's move on. All right, let's get back to the scriptures for a moment. This is Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verses 14 through 15. It says, when thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So what is the Bible telling us? We are not to set a stranger, somebody that's not an Israelite, over us as our ruler. When you come to the times of the New Testament, during the time of Christ, you had Herod that was king of Judea. Who put Herod in charge? The Romans. How were they able to do that? Because Israel transgressed God's laws, so the Most High allowed the other nations to come against us, to overcome us, and we became vassals or tributaries to the Romans. And so the Romans said, you know what? We're going to give you guys autonomy. You can rule yourselves, which was BS. But in your autonomy, we're going to give you a king. His name is Herod, who Herod was a what? Idumean. He was an Edomite. That's not the way it was supposed to be. But when you're forced to set when somebody is forced upon you as a ruler over you, that's a curse. Much more, we're not even in the land of our captivity, and we're voting for people to rule over us that is not our people. That's why most Israelites will tell you that's the reason why we don't vote, especially on a national level. Because none of these people are really supposed to rule over us whatsoever. We're just in this condition because we broke God's laws. But these other nations are not our leaders. They're not supposed to be. So voting for one of them or the other is not going to save us. Keeping God's laws is what's going to save us. Let's move on. Now, the name of the lesson is called Voting. Will voting save us? And we know the answer is no. So I want to take you guys all the way back to the 60s with our beloved brother Malcolm X. And I want to show you how the same things that the so-called white man was doing back then, especially the liberals, what they were doing back then, the games they were playing to try to sway our people, to try to seduce our people back then, it is the same thing they're doing today. What has changed? Nothing. Listen.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader. Or
they just had a summit for black men on BET. How many of you guys know about that? Right before the election. They had a summit for black men on BET within the last week and a half. If you know about that, put one in the chat on YouTube, put one in the chat on Clubhouse if you know about that. Who was the host of that summit? It was D.L. Hughley. What is he? He is a comedian. D.L. Hughley also was a speaker at the Democratic National Convention that nominated Kamala Harris. Translation in 2024, D.L. Hughley is being pushed on black people as one of your what? Leaders. And he's a comedian. This is 2024. Malcolm told us about this in the 60s. This is 60 plus years ago. They're playing the same game on us still. BET has not been owned by black people in 20 years, give or take, right? We know Robert Johnson, the black man, was one of the original owners, but then they sold it to the white man. And so the white man decides who's going to do the Negro Summit, right? He decides who's going to do the summit on the election with black men, right? Who does he choose? He chooses a comedian, the same type of person that Malcolm X told us 60 plus years ago is not your leader. But they pushed that on you as your leader. Y'all got it? Let's go.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
You could literally snatch that video word for word, verbatim, and superimpose it on the 2024 election, can you not? Because the same thing is happening right now. It's the same thing.
Now, I know my ladies in the crowd love their body. And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to go for.
Megan Thee Stallion kicked off Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign event in Atlanta, getting the crowd hyped.
We're about to make history with the first female president. Cutting for Harris.
She even shared some backstage fun with the VP.
What do you have to say to the American people? We are not going back.
But she wasn't the only one getting the crowd hyped. They showed off their excitement singing along to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Another musician who showed up for Kamala.
If y'all don't know me, I go by the name of Quavo.
Quavo, who lost his nephew and Migos partner Takeoff to gun violence, helped introduce Harris to the crowd of 10,000 people.
And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business.
And then it came time for the VP to address the crowd.
Please give it up for Quavo. And Megan.
She even fit a mention of the Atlanta native into her speech.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
I'm just gonna let y'all digest that for a second. You know, you heard Negroes all the time talking about, I will never let nobody play in my face. Yeah, you do. Politicians play in your face all the time. This is the literal definition of playing in your face. Blessed are your eyes because we can see this. But our people can't. That's why they were crashing out. They were crashing out on TikTok. That's why. Let's listen to a little bit more of the speech that Malcolm gave in a little more context. Let's go. Because here's the thing. The reason why I'm going to play this also. Malcolm only spoke about the liberals in that particular video. But in this particular video, he speaks about the conservatives as well. Because you got 20% of black men, 21% of black men that voted for Trump. I'm conservative as though that makes you better than somebody else. Now realizing the conservatives are playing in your face too. Yeah. And they were doing it 60 years ago during the time of Malcolm X as well. Listen.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to.
And that's what we're supposed to understand. You're supposed to be able to see these people coming. Our people see a smile on a politician. Okay, they love us. No, they don't.
But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for a friend.
Okay, that wasn't. There's another video. I didn't get it, but I'm not going to even worry about it at the moment. It's a video about. No, here it is. Sorry. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. Okay, here it is. Thought I was tripping. I have it. Listen.
in this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together
From both parties.
toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor.
Like the Democratic Party today, the Democratic liberals. This is them. That's why they had to get Malcolm out of here. Speaking too much truth. Let's keep going.
And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game.
And they do that mainly through utilizing your celebrities, because you worship your celebrities, not the Israelites, but the rest of our people. Let's go.
That is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism, false promises of integration.
What's tokenism? Tokenism is your celebrities, or your black people that are part of the bourgeoisie that have a lot of money, the elites. Well, look, they made it. You can make it. See? You all can make it. See? Because he made it. Look at Jay-Z. You could be just like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Can you?
And civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leaders who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition.
Al Sharpton, the National Action Network, the NAACP, CORE, SNCC, you name it. And whatever modern Black Lives Matter, and whatever modern group you could think about that quote unquote is for civil rights, it's all the same. They're in the pockets of the liberals who are just as bad as the conservatives. It's just that they're acting as a fox. Someone that when you approach something that approaches you, it looks like it's friendly till it gets up on you, and then you find out it's not.
Token gains, token progress. In the New York Tribune, in an editorial dated February the 5th, 1960, they pointed out that out of 11 million qualified Negro voters, only 2,700,000 actually take time to vote. This means that, roughly speaking, only 3 million out of the 11 million Negroes who are qualified to vote take an active part. And the remaining 8 million remain voluntarily inactive. And yet it is this small minority, the 3 million Negro voters, who help determine who will be the next president.
That was true in this election too. They said 20 million, give or take, people didn't even vote. Those are the people that know that it's BS. Both sides of BS.
If who will be the next president can be influenced by 3 million Negro voters, it is easy to see why the presidential candidates of both political parties put on such a false show with the Civil Rights Bill.
Did you guys catch that? All the way back then, the leaders of both parties acted as though they were concerned about the so-called Civil Rights Bill and black people. Just like in this election, you had Kamala Harris, before her Joe Biden, that act like they love black people, and Donald Trump, who acts like he loves black people, and neither one does. That's hard for a lot of our people to receive. because they have been influenced by the mainstream media, what they call the legacy media, and now even more by social media. This is what our Bible teaches us. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and the multitudes of mountains. People are looking for salvation from their government. The government is going to give them salvation and rulership and rest from being oppressed from other people and other nations, so forth and so on. That's in vain. That's in vain. There's no government established on this earth that's ever going to give you rest from these curses the Most High put us under. It says, truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. That's how we're going to receive our salvation. Through Hamashiach Yahushua, pursuant to the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 68 on down. Our salvation from our God is through Hamashiach Yahushua, not through these governments that have been established on the earth. They don't give a damn about you. They're all the same. Okay. Time for some, you guys know that when you went to college, some of you guys know when you went to college, you're guilty. I ain't going to call you to the front of the congregation, but you guys are guilty. Some of you guys, when you went to college, you skipped civics class. So we're about to have civics class right now, real quick, not for long. But we're about to have a civics class real quick. So what are civics? And you might ask yourself, well, why is that important? It's important to our class today. I'm going to show you guys why momentarily. But what are civics, first of all? Well, civics is the study of the rights and responsibilities of citizens in a society. So you have certain rights and certain responsibilities in society. And that is what the study of civics revolves around. But maybe to somebody that wasn't enough. So we're going to watch a couple of quick videos to give us an idea of what civics is all about. So watch this real quick.
If you're going to participate in a meaningful way at the state or city level, it's a good idea to know what the steps are of creating a regulation or a bill. So enjoy the cartoon as a little bit of a comedy relief. There's actually a very nice guide to looking at Civics 101.
Now, before I go any further, to my old heads, if you remember this cartoon, it means you old. This used to air on ABC on Saturday mornings. On ABC on Saturday mornings when you'd be home from school, and they'd have all the cartoons playing. But in between the cartoons, they would show videos like this that was supposed to educate the children about things like civics. I'm saying, which grown adults don't even know what civics is. So if you remember this cartoon, it means you're old. I ain't gonna tell you whether I remember it or not. I Googled it on YouTube and I found I ain't gonna tell you whether I remember it or not. That's nobody's business but mine. Anyway, let's go. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Actually, a very nice guide to looking at Civics 101.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." And he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they...
Now, the reason why I'm showing you this and I'm starting to stop it is because when a bill gets to Capitol Hill, Congress people debate. So we're brainwashed into thinking it's a real debate, right? It's a real debate. They're just arguing whether it's right or wrong, right? Wrong. Wrong. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's keep going.
Pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the...
Now I want to stop it for a second because they take it to the House of Representatives and they vote on it. Then they take it to the Senate and they vote on it, right? So you're thinking, wow, this is a great process. This is a democratic process. No. Let's keep watching.
White House where I wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be alone.
And then after the bill goes through the House of Representatives and it's approved, and it goes through the Senate and it's approved, then what?
To sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be alone.
Then the president has to sign it. So we're taught in civics in school, these are checks and balances to make sure our democracy is strong and there's no corruption. We have these checks and balances, the House, the Senate, the president. It's all balanced out. It's wonderful, right? Okay.
Oh, how I hope and pray that he will, but today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill. He signed your bill, now you're a law. Oh, yes!
All right. So back in the days, like I said, if you're of a certain age, you remember that. They were teaching these things on TV. You notice that they don't teach these things on TV anymore? Our children now today are just like watered down and dumbed down. It's sad. Let's move on. Well, here's the next question, ladies and gentlemen. We're going somewhere with this. That wasn't just an exercise to watch a cartoon. We're going somewhere with this. Does anybody know what a political action committee is? It's related to why we just watched that video about bills. What are political action committees or PACs? Well, let's read it. So we went to the Encyclopedia Britannica just to give us an idea. So political action committees or PACs in the U.S., politics, an organization which purposes to raise and distribute campaign funds to candidates seeking political office. I want to stop right there. They want to raise and distribute campaign funds to candidates seeking political office. I want you to think now. I just told you guys, it might sound like, hey, it has to go through the House. It might sound like it has to go through the Senate and the president. So these are checks and balances. Everything is great. But you have political action committees who's given money to certain candidates and not giving money to others. Why is that? Let's keep going though. It says PACs are generally formed by corporations, labor unions, trade associations, or other organizations or individuals, and channel the voluntary contributions they raise to candidates for elective offices, primarily where? Look at it. Somebody come look at this. Somebody come look at this. Primarily in the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate. Translation: these political action committees give money to certain candidates to push certain legislation and to kill others. Bills that come from the local area, local municipalities, whatever, that want certain things passed. We'll write it up. It becomes a bill. It goes to Capitol Hill, and the political action committees can either fund that bill to become a law by putting money in senators and representatives' pockets, or they could have it killed, have these senators and representatives vote against it. The political action committees control what these guys are voting on. They control that. We're going to come out of this for a second. I'm going to come over here, and we're going to watch this particular video right here. Okay? Let's go. If you're still not sure about what political action committees are, this should help you a little bit more. Listen. Wait, what? Let's explore what? Oh, I thought it was the will of the people. You know, them people that were crashing out earlier because they had a certain will that they wanted because social media took them down a certain rabbit hole. And the will of the people on the other side who said Donald Trump won, he won the popular vote, he won the electoral college, it was the will of the people. No, in truth, what? Okay. It's all about the Benjamins, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the Benjamins. Let's keep going. Okay. 1 second, y'all. Y'all couldn't catch it, so I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and I'm gonna go back and share it again. Y'all build me 1 second. 1 second. It should have. It should have let you guys hear that. I don't know why it did not. Give me 1 second. Let me see something. I may not be able to play it. I thought it would because the video was allowing me to do it. We got a little time, so we're okay, guys. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. If not, we'll have to skip that. All right. Yeah, it may not allow me to play it. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, guys, it's not letting me play it. I don't know why you guys couldn't hear it. I don't know why you guys could not hear it. Whoops, let me see something. Give me a second, guys. Oh, it is allowing me to. Okay, well, they say where there's a will, there's a way. Well, it's allowing me to do it. It's allowing me to grab it. So I'm actually gonna be able to put it in the PowerPoint. So y'all just bear with me 1 second. This gives us a good opportunity. You guys see that we're going down the rabbit hole, but we're sharing a lot of information. So while we're taking this pause for the cause, if you guys have not hit the like button, something's wrong with you. You need to repent. Repent. You guys probably have family members, friends, so forth and so on, that need to see and hear this information. So you guys need to hit the like button, share it on your social media, share it with family, friends, and so forth and so on. And let's educate our people, the ones that have the open mind. He that hath an ear, let him hear. She that hath an ear, let her hear. We got to share this information with our people that are interested in it. so that they don't go crazy over stuff that they shouldn't go crazy over. So,
God, that's if they still talking to you, priest, because you know certain family members, they find out you ain't vote for Pamela, they cut you off. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Social media is a mother.
Social media is a mother and a father, right? So it just downloaded, so I'm just waiting for it to, and I'm going to grab it right here inside the PowerPoint. Now, that's good. This is all praise to the Most High, right? So, hey, we tell you guys all the time, we build it while we fly. We're not ashamed to build it while we fly, man. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see if it's done. Yep, it is. So let's go grab that and watch it again. Boom. All right. God is good. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen, and we're going to go right back into the lesson. All praise to the Most High for that. All right, where's my screen at? Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So let's come back to the PowerPoint. So here we are. We're going to watch this again. Listen.
So you want to know more about political action committees or PACs? Well, let's unpack the different ways money can influence elections. Campaigns are expensive. Travel, consultants, events, and lots of ads on TV, radio, and social media. So where does all that money come from? The short answer is campaign contributions. For federal elections, there are limits to the amount of money an individual or party can contribute directly to a candidate's campaign. And corporations, foreign nationals, and unions are prohibited from directly contributing at all. Yet, there is more than one way to influence an election. Political action committees, or PACs, are nonprofit organizations that combine the money from several donors in order to support or defeat a candidate or legislation.
So all you need to know is that you can form a political action committee because donors can only give, there's a limit on what an individual donor can give or an individual organization can give. So what they do is they form a political action committee and they get all the different donors, all the different corporations under one banner under that political action committee. They pool their resources and the political action committee actually donates money to a campaign. And that's how they influence elections. Y'all with me so far? Okay, let's go back one. And as you guys can see right here, political action committees give money to both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, I'm gonna skip this for now for the sake of time. I want to introduce you guys to one of the most important, one of the most influential political action committees, aka what we just learned, the people that actually buy candidates off. This is called AIPAC. 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 Matter of fact, we're going to come out of this for 1 second real quick because I thought I put this in here and I did not. So we build it while we fly. What is AIPAC, ladies and gentlemen? AIPAC is basically a political action committee that is pro-Israel. Right there. You guys see that? Do you guys see that? All right. Okay. Don't worry about me. We're building this while we fly. I thought I had this slide in here. I did not. We're going to put it in here now. Oops. 1 second. I'm going to put it in here right now and figure it out later. Right? You guys actually get to see what I sit here and do every week to bring you guys these lessons and PowerPoints and how much work goes into it. It's a lot of work, right? So we're going to come back now from the slideshow. That's what AIPAC is. AIPAC is a pro-Israel political action committee. That's what the PAC is. AI is American. The I stands for the small hats. PAC is a political action committee. We just learned that these are the people that control your elections. They give money and control elections. We just saw that, right? Okay. Now, Let's come back here for a second. Let's look at this slide right here. This is from election night, November the 5th. What does it say right here? Look. Somebody come look at this. It says AIPAC, American Small Hat Political Action Committee, you know, the folks that endorse and give money to candidates to control elections, have endorsed, watch this, 362 candidates. This is from your House of Representatives and your Senate. They endorsed 362 candidates and won in every primary. So when you see a bill go into the Capitol, go into the House, go into the Senate, just understand the people that are voting on these bills, a lot of them are being brought out by political action committees. One of the most powerful political action committees is this committee right here. And this committee right here controls a lot of the elections in America today. And they are a what? Small hats control that. They control that. It doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. They let you know that whoever they put their money behind wins every time. Y'all gotta see that? This is from their Twitter, aka their X page. You guys can go look this up for yourself. Don't think that I just made it up. I just took a screenshot of it. They win every time. So they're really controlling everything behind the scenes. You always wonder why their interests are always coming up and their interests are always appeased and everything is always towards them. And you wonder why your own people that look like you, your black representatives, your black senators, your black mayors, your black congressmen, your black city council, your black state representatives, why they don't do nothing for you? Because they're being controlled by these people. And why these people are always seem to be backed by the people that look like you because they're getting paid. That's why. There's more. Let's go to the next one. Here's another screenshot from their same Twitter page. It says, so far, 318 of their candidates have won their general elections. 318. Watch this. Here comes the good part. We are proud to stand with pro-small hat Democrats and Republicans, meaning they are both in the pocket. Oh, you thought because you weren't voting against Democrats, you were standing up for some righteous cause. No, these people are all controlled. They're all puppets. Did not Malcolm tell you guys this 60-something years ago? He told you. And they say it in the open. But Negroes don't run across these posts because your Twitter algorithm took you down a whole different rabbit hole. You don't know that these type of things are being said at all. You don't even know this stuff exists. They control everything. So that candidate that you crying over that lost the election was in their pocket. And the candidate that won the election that you guys are happy about is also in their pocket. I'm talking about on a local level. I'm talking about on the state level. And I'm talking about on a national level. Not because I said it, because they say it on their Twitter feed. Just go look at their Twitter feed and go back 1 or 2 months and see for yourself. There's more. There's more. It says, we are proud to stand with pro-small hat Democrats and Republicans, meaning whoever will do their bidding, to strengthen bipartisan support for the U.S. and the small hat relations. What you brothers and sisters are going to find out, and you can do your own research on this, you guys will find out a lot of candidates, especially so-called African-American, foundational Black American, whatever words you want to use, candidates that were running, that were actually supporting the quote-unquote Palestinians against Israel in this conflict that's going on right now. A lot of the Black candidates that were supporting and siding with the so-called Palestinians, a lost their election. Don't listen to me. Just go look it up. Just go look it up. A lot of the black candidates that were pro-Palestine were losing their elections. Why? Because AIPAC was supporting their opponents. Just know that. Here's another one. It says, this is the best one yet. It says, a majority of the Democrats and Republicans in the House next year were supported by AIPAC in 2024. AKA, ladies and gentlemen, let me translate. The majority of people that are in your House of Representatives and the Republicans that everybody's going crazy for. Oh, the Republicans won. Kamala was defeated. Freedom, free at last. The majority of your Republicans, your leadership in the House, were AIPAC candidates, meaning they received donations from this political action committee. That's why they won. Watch this. There's more. It gets better. Check this out. As well as, watch this, the full House Democrat and Republican leadership teams. The leadership of the Democrat and the Republican Party in the House of Representatives in 2025 are all AIPAC candidates. Just let that marinate for a second. This is what people are crashing out about over the election. Somebody y'all know needs to see this information. This is crazy. But it's not crazy because we understand it. And when you guys go to their website, because I know it may be small, especially if you're watching this on a cell phone, this is the leadership team for the House of Representatives in 2025. You have Mike Johnson right here. He's an Edomite. But this guy right here, Hakeem Jeffries, that's Jake. Why do you think everybody supports the small hats? Everybody in the House of Representatives and the Congress, they support them. Nobody supports you. You know why? Because we don't have political action committees. Not saying that we should have them. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to show you guys something. I'm trying to show you how if you allow yourself to be controlled by social media and you crash out over things that you don't even understand, it's crazy. Our eyes are blessed. We can see this whole thing is a game. Doesn't matter what side you vote for. None of them have your best interest at heart. Anyway, let's move on. You guys can see what that says. I'm going to read it in a second. Just look. Just in case you thought he was exempt. It says, AIPAC congratulates President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance on their historic election victory. We look forward to working together with the new administration and Republicans and Democrats in Congress to strengthen and expand the U.S. small hat relation. They're working together. All of them, Republicans and Democrats, and this guy too. So some of you Israelites that were seduced, you might want to drink some coffee, man, and wake the hell up. Let's move on. Let's look at what the Bible says. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. We're going to read verses 4 through 6. It says, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, which our people did." And as a result, we can see today that a lot of our people are caught up in this system, in this mindset. They're caught up in it, right? "And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, which is what we did during slavery and we still continue to do today. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. A lot of our people, their heart has departed from the Lord, which is why the Most High sent us over to serve our enemies in a land we know not, because our mind departed from the Lord. And in this captivity where our mind departed from the Lord, we have put our trust in man. We have made man into an idol. Ladies and gentlemen, the people, including our people, have made Donald Trump into a goodness gracious idol. Just watch.
President Trump, you were born into the world to be a trumpet of God, a vessel of the Lord in the hand.
Now, I want you to listen, but I want you to watch the sister at the bottom. This is our people that have put their trust in man. This is our people who have made flesh their arm. This is our people whose mind has departed from the Lord. She done drank the Kool-Aid.
President Trump, you were born into the world to be a trumpet of God, a vessel of the Lord in the hands of God. To come to power, Jehu had to prevail against the nation's former first lady. So to come to power, you had to prevail against the nation's former first lady. Jehu overturned the cult of Baal by which children were sacrificed. So God chose you to overturn America's cult of Baal, Roe versus Wade, by which millions of babies were sacrificed. Or you were born, God ordained that you would walk into his destiny. You must seek him.
What they're doing, if you're not paying attention, if you're not following, they're aligning Donald Trump to scriptures in the Bible. They're trying to basically say that scriptures in the Bible represent what he's doing.
With all your heart, follow him with all your might. America can only be great again if America turns back to God. You are a trumpet of God, and the trumpet can only fulfill its purpose if it's filled with the breath of the one who holds it up and blows through it. God is the one who lifted you up, and he wills that you be filled with the breath of his spirit.
Type Jesus is King and follow or subscribe.
I want you guys to know she's just as bad SHI crazy as the ones that were screaming for Kamala. The only reason why she ain't screaming at the top of her lungs is because her candidate won. That's all. It's the only difference, and theirs didn't. She's just as crazy as they are. Let's move on to the next one. Now let's look at this. Let's talk about this dude right here. This dude made Trump into an idol as well. I'm going to play this video twice. I want you guys to pay attention. This is a dude that made a rap song about Trump as well.
For somebody, nobody, golly, anybody. Extraordinary. Jesus Christ is extraordinary. Extraordinary. The love of God is extraordinary. Gave his life, paid the price. My King is Christ. Extraordinary. Changed my life, made me right. Renewed my mind is extraordinary. Wow. Extraordinary. Jesus Christ is extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Boom. Now, let's go back 1 second. I'm going to have you guys watch it now. Boom. He's talking about Jesus Christ. Who's that right there? That's Donald Trump. And you have the angel behind him. And Donald Trump is vanquishing the devil. Y'all see that? Do you see that? Man, listen, I'm going to go back to the beginning. Now, I ain't going to stop it now. I want you to see that. Donald Trump is vanquishing. That's what Yahushua is supposed to do. This dumb N-word, I'm going to say the N-word because there's children listening, has basically put Donald Trump in this video as he's the one that's vanquishing the devil. Oh, my goodness. These people are just as bat-ass crazy as the ones that were screaming for Kamala. I'm trying to tell you.
For somebody, nobody, golly, anybody. Extraordinary. Jesus Christ is extraordinary. Extraordinary. The love of God is extraordinary. Gave his life, paid the price. My King is Christ. Extraordinary. Changed my life, made me right. Renewed my mind is extraordinary. Wow. Extraordinary. Jesus Christ is extraordinary. Extraordinary. The love of God is extraordinary. Gave his life, paid the price. My King is Christ. Extraordinary. Changed my life, made me right. Renewed my mind is extraordinary.
So Donald Trump is the one that's going to vanquish the devil. Let's move on. Our sisters were especially emotional after Tuesday, but many of them call themselves Christians. They have a Bible in the house, probably collecting dust. But this is what our Bible teaches us. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verses 8 and 9. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." It is better to trust the Lord than to put confidence in princes. A prince would be equated to a ruler, would be equated to what you would say today is a Donald Trump or a Kamala Harris or any other political figure that our people might look up to, or a leader in general. It's better to put your trust in. Watch this. It's better to put your trust in the Lord than an Israelite leader of a camp or a congregation. You're not supposed to put your trust in them. Paul said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." He didn't say, "Trust me." As long as you see me doing the things that Yahushua did, that he said, following his example, then you follow me. But you don't put blind trust in me. You don't put blind trust in your Israelite leader or your favorite teacher. That's why a lot of you Israelites wind up out of your minds too, because you put blind trust in people. Any leader that tells you to put blind trust in them, it should be automatically a red flag why you should not. It should be an immediate red flag. Okay, I can't follow you just because you said that. And the same goes with politicians and anybody else that they put in front of you. This is the book of Psalms 146. Pretty much says the same thing. It says, "Praise ye the Lord. Praise the Lord, O my soul. While I live, I will praise the Lord. I will sing praises unto my God while I have any being. Put not trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help." There's no help in Donald Trump. There was no help in Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. His breath goeth forth. He returneth to his earth, meaning these people that we put trust in, at some point or another, they're going to die, just like we're all going to die. Every man has his appointed day. In that very day, his thoughts perish. Happy, meaning not disappointed. You won't be disappointed. Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help. Not man, not princes, not Barack Obama, not Bill Clinton, not Hillary Clinton, not Michelle Obama, not Kamala Harris, not Donald Trump, but happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God. That's who our hope is in. You won't be disappointed that way. You'll also have foreknowledge of everything that's going to happen because it's in the book of the Lord. It tells us everything that we need to know and what we should expect to see. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 31. Sorry, I have 30 here. So Isaiah chapter 31. That's a mistype real quick. Slakia. Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1, it says, "Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help." Now, this is something that Isaiah was prophesying that was going on in his day when people were trying to escape and go down into Egypt to escape what the Most High prophesied would come against our people. But it also applies to today because America is modern day Egypt, as you guys already know. So I ain't going to spend a lot of time on that. It says, "Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not," that's our people, "unto the Holy One of Israel, neither do they seek the Lord." Our people are not seeking the Lord. They're seeking Donald Trump, the political system, or somebody to save them and get them out of the condition, and not the Most High God. Verse 2, "Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words." The Most High is not calling back his words, and the Most High is prophesied against ancient Egypt and modern Egypt as well, pursuant to Revelation chapter 11. "But will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity." And America's evil. We ain't pulling no punches. Let's move on for the sake of time. Now, since we're talking about Donald Trump, this is interesting. We're going to watch this video up to, how much time we have? We're going to watch this video up to 5 minutes and 55 seconds and give brief commentary on this because some things, what's understood don't need to be said. What's understood don't need to be said. So I'm going to show you guys this. And he that hath an ear, and she that hath an ear, I'm going to let y'all hear. If you're emotional, if you can't receive this, then it's probably not for you. Just look at the video. Check it out.
This is
one second, real quick. I want to tell you guys about this channel. If you guys want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, it's a good YouTube channel. The name of this channel is called Press for Truth. Matter of fact, we're gonna build it some more while we're flying. I'm gonna put that right here. It's a good YouTube channel, right? Even though it's an Edomite, he does bring out good information. Oops. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm putting it right here so you guys can see it while you're watching the video. We're going to watch about 5 minutes and 55 seconds and give a short commentary on some of the stuff. But the name of the YouTube channel is called Press for Truth, right? And I'm not looking at whether it's Esau or not. I'm looking at what he's bringing out, because what he's bringing out, either it's right or it's not. But what's in front of my face is not hard for me to comprehend. Check it out. This is their own tongue falling on themselves. They're telling on themselves, because this is his people doing this. Let's go.
This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, coming at you here today with a quick video report because Elon Musk just posted this photo of himself with President-elect Donald Trump. So
this is Elon Musk. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is from Elon Musk's Twitter page. I'm going to let him tell y'all, but I want you guys to see it for yourselves. This is Elon Musk's Twitter page, right? You have him here because he endorsed Donald Trump. He was a big part of supporting Donald Trump. So this is him right here. This is Donald Trump right here, right? And what is the caption that Elon Musk posted on his Twitter page? Novos Ordo Seclorum. Do you see that? Okay. Let's come back. Let's go.
Truth coming at you here today with a quick video report because Elon Musk just posted this photo of himself with President-elect Donald Trump, and he captioned it with just 3 words: Novus Ordo Seclorum. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen him use this phrase. A few years ago, he was at an event called the Met Gala where he wore this jacket. And if you look very closely at the back, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum.
So he did it on his Twitter page when Trump won. He did it at the Met Gala. This is twice. That's twice. But it's a coincidence, right? Or is it a pattern? Is it a coincidence or a pattern? He trying to tell you something or not? We'll leave it, to the individual. He that hath an ear, let him hear. Let's keep going.
Latin phrase that can be found on the Great Seal of the United States on their $1 bill, where right here at the bottom it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, which translates to New Order of the Ages, or in some circles it translates to New Secular Order. And this is where the term New World Order is derived from. But you'll notice another Latin phrase at the very top of the seal that says Annuit Coeptis, which translates to He favors our undertakings, with a very ominous looking all-seeing eye that's in a capstone floating above an Egyptian pyramid. But just who exactly is the he that they are referring to who favors their undertakings? Well, you'll notice beside this phrase, it says, in God we trust, which is who they're referring to when saying he favors our undertakings for this new order of the ages or this new world order. But what God are they referring to? On Halloween, Elon Musk chose this costume.
On Halloween, Elon Musk chose this costume. This was his costume. Does anybody know? If you know it, put it in the comments. Who is this on his Halloween costume right here? Let me check my time. I got a little time. Who is this on Elon Musk's Halloween costume? We noticed that he's wearing, now we're seeing a pattern. He put Novos Ordo Seclorum on his Twitter page with a picture of Donald Trump. When he went to the Met Gala, he had Novos Ordo Seclorum on the back of his jacket. And now we see for Halloween, he has this image on the front. Does anybody know who that is? On the front of his Halloween costume? Is this just all coincidental, or is this a pattern? Are they trying to tell you something? And why is it that he's affiliated with your president-elect, who's supposed to be Jesus? Jesus is extraordinary, right? Donald Trump vanquishing demons in the music video, but then he's hanging out with Elon Musk, who has a demon on his Halloween costume. Does anybody know who that is? Well, let's keep going because time is up on us. Let's go.
And yes, it's just Halloween. One could argue he's just embracing the spirit of the holiday, but it's still a pretty interesting choice to have an upside-down cross on the forehead of Baphomet, which is an androgynous male and female goat-headed figure who was worshipped by the Knights Templars way back in the early 14th century. And he's actually still idolized to this very day with statues by Satanists. So what is Elon and Trump's plans here for the new world order of the ages? And is it really their plan, or is it the plan all along? Well, watch this compilation now that I put together almost 15 years ago for my film United We Fall, that shows political leaders on all sides of the political spectrum calling for this new world order, which is now starting to come into view.
The hope that each of us has to build a new world order in which nations and peoples with different systems and different values can live together in peace.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind. Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
There's a need for a new world order.
That's your guy, Klaus Schwab. He's the head of the World Economic Forum, which Donald Trump attends every year. Every year.
Salakia Priest, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Nah, I think that's Kissinger, my brother.
Oh, that's Henry Kissinger. You're right. That's Henry Kissinger. You're right. Although Klaus Schwab has said it. You're right about that. Let's watch.
Order.
There's a need for a new world order. In the next few years, a solution will emerge that people will look into that cause.
So you guys get the idea. I want you just guys to get the idea. This is not new. So to see Elon Musk pushing it with Donald Trump in the picture, just know the agenda is on schedule. It's on track, whether you recognize it or not. All right. Let's read Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. I ain't going to be able to read all of this right now for the sake of time. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? That's a vain thing for them to see, to say they have a new world. There will be no new world order. There will be none. Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel against the Lord and against his anointing, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. It's not going to happen. Let's move on. Now, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. We're going to watch this video just for a couple of minutes. I want to show you guys something. Watch this. I'm going to stop for 1 second. Those of you guys that are listening to the video that have to go to the God First Gang Room is going to start in 10 minutes on Clubhouse. You guys could go over. I'm going to go over because I got to finish this. There's a lot of stuff in here I have to show you guys. I got to finish this. So those of you that have to go over to the God First Gang Room on Clubhouse, when the time comes, y'all do that. But I'm going to finish this lesson today because it's that important. All right. So again, Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never trust thy enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Let's look at iron rusting. Let's understand what that is. Let's go. So when a piece of iron is left out in the open for a while, a film of brownish substance gets deposited on its surface called rust. In other words, certain elements, certain natural things in the element cause it to rust, where it might look shiny and bright and good on the outside, but after a while, certain things are going to cause certain things to manifest itself. Most High said that's how your enemy is. And that takes time. Rusting happens over time and will happen when iron is exposed to natural things in the environment, just like Esau. They try to come to you smiling and everything, making you think everything is good, but over time, just give them some time. Their true intent, their natural way of thinking and looking at you and dealing with you is going to come out. So it is with your enemy. Give them some time. And this rust, aka his hate towards you, is going to show. Just ask the Native Americans who befriended him at first and he betrayed them later. Ask the Aztecs, ask the Incas, ask the Boricuas, ask the Quisqueya Indians, etc. That's how Esau is. That's Esau at first. Over time, in the elements, start getting to it. You start rusting. Your natural way of life will get to you. Natural things will happen and you'll start rusting. You guys get the idea. We're not gonna belong that. Verse 11, Sirach chapter 12. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. I'm gonna jump down to verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a snake? You know, a charmer knows a snake is a snake. So if that same snake that you're charming bites you, who's going to feel sorry for you? So when Donald Trump or whomever that our people revere in the political world bites you, we're not going to feel sorry for you because we already know. And we tell you guys. Or any such as come near nigh wild beasts. You going out into the woods, going out into Africa, right? Into the Serengeti, wherever, and you have lions and all types of different animals out there, rhinos and stuff, and you going out there like it's all sweet. Now, when one of them animals come nigh unto you, because you go nigh unto it, and it rends you, who's gonna feel sorry for you, right? What was the name of that Edomite that went down into the water? Damn, what was the name of that? You probably know that white man that went down into the water, man.
Damn right I know. Steve, I want to say Irwin if somebody want to Google it.
Yeah.
That cracker from Australia?
Yeah.
Oh man, every now and then I watch this video so I can laugh. Go ahead, priest.
Yeah, so who gonna feel bad about that? Nobody, because you did that to yourself. That's the same thing with you trusting your enemies. You did it to yourself because these are not your friends. You try to tell our people that. Now, let's go to the book of Revelations, chapter 12. I have verses 10 through 17. But I'm going to read verse 17 just for the sake of time. It says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. The dragon represents, for lack of a better term, Esau or Edom. And the woman represents Israel, our people. And went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So this dragon, which is Esau, is going to be upset with Israel and is going to make war with the Israelites that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Real quick, somebody might be like, well, I don't believe that. Okay, watch this. Let's go to the book real quick. I don't have it in here, but let's go to the book of Acts real quick. I believe it's chapter 18. I might be wrong. We're going to figure it out right now. We're going to build it while we fly. Acts chapter 18. Right here. Yep. It's the book of Acts chapter 18. We're going to read verses 1 and 2. That's all we need. And after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla. Here's the point. Because Claudius had commanded all the Jews to depart from Rome. In other words, Claudius made war with the Jews that were in Rome. The Jews that were in Rome that were causing so much of an uproar that Claudius said, get out. And the ones of you that don't get out, you're going to be killed. That's the history, and it's also in your Bible. You can actually go and read the history in secular history, but that's what happened. Well, the same thing is going to happen again. They're going to make war with those of Israel that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Jesus Christ, of Hamashiach, Yahushua. We're the issue. We're the issue, right? Let's move on for the sake of time. No. Let's actually show you guys what I'm talking about, for instance, right? This is your boy, Donald Trump, who some of you Israelites love. I just want you to listen to what he said. Listen.
This evil anti-Semitic attack is an assault.
So he's talking about anti-Semitism, ladies and gentlemen. That is our focus, anti-Semitism. Remember, we're trying to figure out who they're going to make war with. Who they're going to make war with, right? Then he mentions anti-Semitism. Okay.
Semitic attack is an assault on all of us. It's an assault on humanity. It will require all of us working together to extract the hateful poison of anti-Semitism.
This is your AIPAC. Remember that political action committee we learned about earlier? This is them speaking through him. Just so you know. Okay.
From our world. This was an anti-Semitic attack at its worst. The scourge of anti-Semitism cannot be ignored, cannot be tolerated, and it cannot be allowed to continue. We can't allow it to continue.
So anti-Semitism cannot be allowed to continue. Okay, let's keep going.
It must be confronted and condemned everywhere it rears its very ugly head. We must.
Anti-Semitism must be confronted. Make war, make war, make war. Let's keep going.
Stand with our Jewish brothers and sisters to defeat anti-Semitism and vanquish the forces of hate. That's what it is.
They're going to be confronted and vanquished if you're considered to be anti-Semitic. Let's keep going.
And those seeking their destruction, we will seek their destruction.
Make war with the remnant of her seed that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Come on.
And when you have crimes like this, whether it's this one or another one on another group, We have to bring back the death penalty. They have to pay.
So they want to implement the death penalty to people that are anti-Semitic. They have to pay.
Pay the ultimate. They have to pay.
Let's go back.
Bring back the death penalty. They have to pay the ultimate price. They have to pay the ultimate price. They can't.
All right, that's all we needed. That's all I needed for now, for the sake of time. So now we have to ask ourselves, what is anti-Semitism? How many brothers and sisters know about Executive Order 13899? Executive Order 13899. Like what? Yeah. That was the executive order that Donald Trump instituted the first time he was president. Executive Order 13899. Combating anti-Semitism. See, this legislation is already in place and waiting for you and I. While we're sitting around cheering, oh no, Trump is president again, everything's gonna be wonderful. No, it's not. No, it's not. He's the one that introduced this. He's in the pocket like everybody else. It's all a game. They're just playing in your face. So he instituted Executive Order 13899. For the sake of brevity, I just want to come down to section number 2 right here. You guys can see it right here. Now we need to define what anti-Semitism is so we can see what they're going to come against. Shall we? It says the non-legally binding working definition of anti-Semitism adopted on May 26, 2016 by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. Meaning, brothers and sisters, and I've shown this before. Some of you guys that have been here for a long time know I've shown this before. Some of you guys are new. You've never seen this. He's letting you know whatever the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance says anti-Semitism is, that's what it's going to be. And that's what they're trying to vanquish. Does everybody understand that? For the people that are cheering for the 20% of black men that voted for Donald Trump, for the 9% of black women that voted for Donald Trump, for the 54% of Latino men, some of them are our people, most of them are people that voted for Donald Trump. Do you guys not understand what's happening right here? Maybe you don't. I don't know. But we're here to try to help our people understand what's going on. It's all the same.
Hey, priest, if I could add, dealing with Executive Order 13899, he also, people probably forgot, maybe some people remembered, but back in 2019, I text you the link, priest. This dude signed a law stating that, quote unquote, the small hats are their own ethnic group. I just text you the link. People probably don't remember that he did that. He said that Trump signs executive order to define Judaism as a race, ethnicity. So all them people over there who claim such and such and such, the Ish people, right? They're their own race. And what that means is that it's easier to codify anti-Semitism now because you could point and say, well, hey, I'm a part of that race, so how dare you speak against me? You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring that out, man, in case we forgot.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up real quick. Since you brought it out, I stopped sharing for 1 second. Excuse me, so people can see what you're saying. I want people to know that we're not just sitting up here saying stuff just to say it, but we actually, we have proof of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's crazy because the scriptures tells you that the 12 tribes are scattered to the 4 corners of the planet Earth, right? So how can you say that all of God's chosen people came from Poland or Ukraine, and they all live in that section in Palestine right now? That's crazy.
Yeah. So people.
Yeah.
Continue.
If that, so that means that you quote unquote black Hebrew Israelite, you're running around calling yourself a Jew, then you're being anti-Semitic to them. And you could be subject to be thrown in jail. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, what the elder said was good, and that's the article he sent me. Let me make it a little smaller so you guys can see the website it comes from. It comes from a website called Axios, right? And it says Trump signs executive order to define Judaism as a race or an ethnicity. So if they decide that you're not part of that race or ethnicity, then you're an anti-Semite. All this stuff is already in place, waiting while people are celebrating. For the people that voted for him that are celebrating in the streets, you don't know what you're celebrating. You just don't know. Okay, let's move on. So the IHRA decides what anti-Semitism is. Okay, so real quick, let's do this. What do they say the IRA? What is so? Here we went to their website. Okay, if the IHRA decides what it is, that we need to find out what they're going to say it is. So here's their website, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, right? And it says working definition of anti-Semitism. Let's read what's in the blue, just for the sake of time. It says, adopt the following non-legally binding working definition of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is a certain perception of the small hats, which may be expressed in hatred towards the small hats, rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism. I want to deal with this word rhetorical. So for those of you that are watching online, you guys can see I have the screenshot of what rhetorical is. I want to look at number 3, the definition number 3. It says of, relating to, concern with rhetoric or the skillful use of language to persuade people. In other words, we can use skillful language, which is the Bible, which is history, so forth and so on, and we could persuade people that the small hats are not really the Jews. They're faking it. We're not speaking down on them. We're not calling for violence against them. We're just using rhetoric, meaning skillful language, to persuade people that what they're seeing online, what they're seeing on the news, who's being pushed, is not the people. Well, guess what? They say that can be anti-Semitic. Meaning the brothers that's in the street that's teaching can be labeled as anti-Semites. That's how they're going to do this. It has to be real broad language that they can actually use to corner you. They made it real broad. You can't say nothing. Let's go to the next one. Something like this will be considered anti-Semitic. If you quote this article, look at the newspaper that actually wrote this, the Times of Israel. Ain't no black Israelites writing this. This is them. This is them writing this. But if you cite this article where they admit that they, watch this, look right here, we do control the media. Who wrote that? They did. But this is considered rhetoric. If you actually quote this article, so you be like, you know what, I'm a source up, right? We say source up, source up. Okay, if you source up and use their own words against them, it still could be considered to be anti-Semitic. Donald Trump says this stuff needs to be vanquished. Let's look at some more. Watch this. It says, accusing the small hats as a people of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single Jewish person or group. So even if it's real, do you guys see this? Even if it's real, it's still anti-Semitic. Let's go to the next one. Accusing the small hats as a people or Israel as a state of inventing or exaggerating the, you know what, their own scholars, there's many articles you can find where their own scholars have said the numbers are inflated. They're inflated. So even if you go out and you source up, because they're aware that the whole reason why they're writing this on this website, they're aware of the arguments against them. They're aware that people will source up. They're aware that people will source up with scholars from their own people. They don't care. If you say it, you're an anti-Semite. That's what they're doing. Does everybody see that? Let's go to the next one. Drawing comparisons of contemporary small hat policy to that of the Nazis. In other words, there's a lot of people that are criticizing what's going on over there right now with what they're doing to the so-called Palestinians and saying the same things that you guys are crying about that the Nazis did to you. You guys have the same policy against the Palestinians today. If you say that, you can be considered an anti-Semite. Translation, brothers and sisters, you can't say anything. You can't say anything. It's crazy. Okay. This is the book of Psalms 91. Let's read verse 1. It says, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. We're supposed to trust in the Lord and not in man, princes, politicians, etc. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler, and the truth is our shield and our buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right side, but it shall not come nigh unto thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. It's a blessing for those that the Most High allows to reach the end, and with your eyes, you're able to see the wicked getting their reward. It's a beautiful thing. Sirach says the same thing. Sirach chapter 25, verse 7. It says, There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. These things make you happy. A man that hath joy of his children. That's number 1. Watch number 2. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. Sirach said that's a beautiful thing, to live to see the fall of your enemy, to live to see your enemy be destroyed. And we pray to the Most High that for some of us, not all of us, because some people are not going to live to see that day, pursuant to prophecy, but that some of us are going to actually see Esau fall. That's a beautiful thing for all these things that he has in our way. And that's part of the gospel, that it's a beautiful thing to know for sure, pursuant to prophecy, that the Most High is going to destroy our enemies, and our enemies and the wicked are going to receive the reward of their deeds. That's a beautiful thing. So don't think that all that I showed you guys, there's not a punishment for it, because there is. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing from now. Hopefully you brothers and sisters were edified. If the lesson made sense and you brothers and sisters were edified, just put 1 in the chat. Let me know. I pray the lesson was edifying and you brothers and sisters got something out of it. All praise to the Most High. Elder Zab, I'm going to turn the floor over to you, because I know you had something you said you wanted to bring up at the end. So the floor is yours, King. Zab, you there? I think you guys can hear me. I'm seeing my... Y'all bear with me 1 second. Let me just see what's going on with the brother. Because he said he wanted to tell you guys something. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Hello? Salakia King, can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro. I turn the floor over to you. I know there's something you want to go into, so the floor is yours.
Oh,
King.
Salakia King. I was on the other line. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to thank the people who have been donating to Lines of Israel, right? And I just want to let y'all know that, listen, everything that you do goes a long way. Before I do that, I'd like to bring out two scriptures, if that's okay with you, priest. First one is First Peter 4 and 7. Let me start at 7. And it's timely too. First Peter chapter 4, verse 7 says, "But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer." And verse 8, "And above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins." Now, when we're being charitable to one another, there's different ways of doing that, right? Um, but for this topic, we're talking about, sending donations and so on and so forth, because the donations that you send goes a long way to help furthering this truth and helping us in this ministry. You might not see it, but trust me, there's ways that we help one another. We help people who are in lines of Israel. We also help people who are not in lines of Israel. So I just want to thank you and commend the people who have been, sending in donations and urge them to continue to do that. The next scripture I want to bring out is in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 30. It says, "Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh atonement for sins." So, a lot of us, we go through a lot of transgressions in our life. We don't all broke the commandments on one shape or another, in one form or another, on some level, right? Now, I'm not saying that, sending in donations is going to cover all your transgressions, but it does help because you're helping us to help the people. All right. So again, I want to commend the people who have been sending in their donations. And real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to a few people, such as like YTS Consulting down there in Georgia. You send in a donation, a sizable donation. I want to tell you thank you, whoever you are. Sister Yolanda, Brother Alfred, and there's a few other people that it's not coming to mind right now. I will, by next Sabbath class, I'll have a list. I do just want to, thank them personally and just big them up and let them know thank you. These people have been donating consistently, and I think it's only right that we take time and we thank the people who have been donating, because we know it ain't easy, especially in these times, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you saw fit to take out of your storehouse, so to speak, and to send it to Lines of Israel. So I want to thank you. And finally, brothers and sisters, go to our donation page if you want to donate to us. And Deacon, I sure want me to let y'all know again, when y'all donate, please add your name to the donation. If you send in Cash App, just say, "Hey, shalom, this is from brother such and such. This is from sister such and such." Also for PayPal and Zelle. Let us know, because we want to thank you. All right? That's it. Most I bless y'all.
All praises. And just to Elder Sah's point real quick, this is our website. For those of you guys that are not familiar with our website, this is our website, thelinesofisrael.com. For those that are not familiar, you come to the tab that says more. Well, look through our whole website, of course, but you come to the tab that says more. You go to the tab that says donations. You click that, right? And there's a bunch of ways you could donate to us. You can do it by PayPal, right? You guys could do it by Cash App. You guys could do it even via crypto. We're trying Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. We're trying to be with the times. So come to our website, thelinesofisrael.com. And we appreciate, as Elder Hazab said, those that have already been doing it. All right. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. We're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, and the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. And we'll be here every week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, teaching our Sabbath class. For anybody that's been here and has not hit the like button, repent, believe the gospel, support us, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And Most High will, we'll see you guys here again next week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for for our next Sabbath class. And with that being said, let's shout out to Donald Trump. He was in my music video that I did years ago. So we're going to run it back. All right. With that, I say shalom.
I made this during the pandemic, y'all. To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Let's go!
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.
The curses, the plagues, is it all a dream? The curfew, the troops, the world's on quarantine. The social, the 6 degrees of separation. The troubles of Jacob, the need for preparation. My vision is focused, I won't speed or rush. And if there's hate in your blood, then you need a flush. Yes, the priest is back, the Most High be praised. I'm making them sick, this song is 5G waves. As real as they come, won't find no fugazi. A man amongst men, so Gail and Oprah hate me. And Jesus had warrants. Paul wrote letters to Corinth. And Esau is red, and Donald Trump is orange. The faces, the gestures, that cat is so comedic. Corona, the virus, the plagues is sent on Egypt. We were slaves, led away to other gods. I ain't preaching shy, I'm killing them with current laws.
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.
The riches, the fame, is it all for Skrilla? The mask and the gloves so COVID doesn't kill you. The panic, the fear, the news is so fallacious. The Isley, the brothers, they say it's so contagious. The doctors, the nurses, the need for ventilators. The 1,200 cash they gave to stimulators. The signs and the warnings, don't forget the scriptures. Prevention and cure funded by special interests. Still in the streets, surely. Some say that he's worldly. Flow is sick like why Tekashi got released early. The judges, the lawyers, they say there's no defense. Season 8 Game of Thrones, cause it don't make no sense. And that's the rundown, TV is saturated. The fear is the push to get us vaccinated. We were slaves, led away to other gods. I ain't preaching shy, I'm killing them with current laws.
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.